Welcome into the Players Club, presented by Pepsi. The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders. And in part by Johnson Kendall Johnson, the official insurance broker and risk management partner of the Washington Commanders, where our passion is your protection. Now for your hosts, London Fletcher, Santana Moss, and Sean Springs.
Welcome into another edition of the Players Club. We're going to flip the script and we talk about the Tennessee Titans. We're also going to go inside the film room and look at some of the best plays of Daron Payne this season. And we also got Daron Payne joining us on this episode of the Players Club, but that'll be later on in the show.
Fellas, this section is called This or That. We just wrapped up some NFC division games. So now we're going to talk about this or that NFC East division game.
Okay.
What is your favorite team that you love playing against in the NFC East?
This is tough. I'm going to say the Eagles. I hated the Giants, obviously the Cowboys rivalry. But I enjoyed playing against the Eagles, and in particular, I enjoyed playing against the Eagles in Philly because of
The hostility.
It was that gladiator type of feeling for me coming into the
Team against the world.
Yeah, and then when you come out of that tunnel, all their fans, how they react and respond. So coming out of there, I wanted to entertain them. So I'll say the Eagles.
Yeah.
Good.
Mine by far is the Cowboys. It didn't really. It's crazy because, as much as we got up for this game, for the rivalry, for the city, how they got up for it throughout the week, seeing the shirts, beat Dallas, all that type of stuff. To me, I didn't stress that much playing against them. Not trying to throw no shade and nothing. Like, it just wasn't one of those teams that I feel like.
You like playing against the Cowboys?
I always look forward to them. You got to think about it. Defensively, the Cowboys they was mid for a while we was playing.
Yeah.
That defense got better.
Because you was going against Newman a lot.
No, Terrence Newman don't get enough. He don't get enough credit.
He was balling.
I'm not talking about him personally. Defensively as a whole, they was mid. Terrence Newman, to me, I feel like was one of the better guys in our division at that position that who don't get enough credit. He made me work for every little yard that I ever got against him. But I ain't just see him. He ain't just man up against me. The Giants brought a different kind of. I used to not play well against the Giants. It's odd.
We just gave you the name the Giant Slayer like 3 weeks ago.
It's odd because I got a lot of touchdowns. I got a lot of touchdowns against them, but collectively, like the game, overall games, had bigger games against the Cowboys, bigger game against the Eagles than I did with the Giants. But I'll just say the Cowboys. The Cowboys is the games I look forward to playing.
What about you?
I love going to New York. I did love going to New York because it's just the lights. It's something about one. It's just the lights, man. Big city is the Big Apple. You show up, they're talking crazy.
That Giant game always was dreary, though. It was always like
it's cold. It was always
like
cold.
An overcast.
Especially if it was later in the year.
Later in the year, it was cold.
The sun never shine on that stadium.
but we got them a couple nighttime, so we got a couple nighttime games. So for me it was the Giants, man, and playing that. All right, more hostile environment, Giants or Philly?
Philly.
New York, Philly.
Philly, easy, Philly.
Yeah, I think that's easy one for me.
Philly, but it's fun though. I mean, their fans, as much as they MFing you and throwing stuff at you, man, it's still a fun crowd. Now the Giants, they get a little rude with theirs. Their hostility is rude. It's like it comes off to a point that you're like, bro, we're just playing a game, and they're like. So this is the thing about the game that I hate. Fans are gonna be fans, you know that. As players, I was always told when I was young, if they booing you, if they heckling you, you a problem. You a threat. So I embraced it. When I heard people booing and saying my name and my number, your mama or whatever, you know what I mean? I go back to them because I'm embracing that you got to be a fan. You got to like somebody, and it's not me.
Be passionate about something.
But at the same time, you're going out your way to say me, so I know I'm a threat to you. Now, flip the script. You go to the Giants, the game over with, you walking, the fans still have that same energy, win or lose. You know what I mean? So I always
that's just that whole New York.
Bro, it's something about it. I just felt like, man, these people over here, they just ain't, man, they having some rough nights to sleep or something.
I just felt like maybe it's just the way the Giants Stadium is built. It it wasn't like intimidated.
They wasn't up on you.
They wasn't up on
Yeah.
you. Just, I mean, it's New York, and you like the Big Apple and all that type of stuff. But in terms of hostility, I just felt like the Eagles, you can feel their fans a lot more,
Especially driving into the game. It was crazy.
driving into the game, and also if you were down and they were up big on you or whatever, and our offense was out on the field, I felt like it was a lot louder.
Yeah,
of a stadium
louder.
too.
It was louder.
Right.
Of a stadium.
Tanner, we just talked about it. We got the Cowboy Killer or the Giant Slayer for you.
Cowboy Killer all day. I mean, it would. Personally, I didn't get none of these. I didn't make these nicknames up, so I appreciate having good games in both. Against both of these franchises. I would say the Cowboy stuff was more consistent than it was with me being a Giant Slayer. The Giant Slayer was something that recently we discovered that I had
more touchdowns
against that particular team. The Cowboy game.
Yeah, man, Bluefoot gave you that.
Yeah. So, but wait a minute.
Slayer.
So you didn't know you
I didn't know.
You didn't feel like you scored a lot of touchdowns against the Giants?
The games used to always be up and down. When I played them, I used to be like, bro, this just.
You know what it is?
It wasn't consistent. You know what I mean? It was like a game here.
Well, because of
here.
the game you had on Monday night.
Yeah.
That's why the Cowboy Killer
but
is here.
But not even that. So if you look at the Monday night performance, from the span of 2005 to 2007, like I had played them 6 times, 2, 4, 6. I had 500-yard games out of those 6 times. Like, so that was more consistent play. The Giants, I can remember one game, I had 3 touchdowns against them as a Jet.
Right.
And I fast forward, I came and played them here twice a year. My first year I had 3 touchdowns against them as a Redskin, but then the other games was up and down. Then I might pop in and have 2 touchdowns here. You know what I mean? So it wasn't nothing consistent enough for me to even remember that I was doing that, good against them,
Yeah.
So always Cowboy Killer. And then the DMV love the Cowboy Killer, boy.
London, you had big games in the NFC East.
Yeah.
The game for you is Monday Night Football or Thanksgiving Day football.
Against the
NFC East. Against the NFC East, because that's what we want to know for you.
Oh, it's something special about Monday night. Thanksgiving. I'm gonna say Thanksgiving. The reason being,
hey, he going back, man. Which one is it, man?
Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. Well, I was about to say Monday Night Football. You obviously love the Monday Night Football, but with Thanksgiving, you're gonna have a lot of everybody, family members around watching those games. A lot of players sitting at they're watching games.
Yeah,
sitting up watching that game. So I'm gonna say Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah,
that would be.
Which one did you perform better on NFC East?
I mean, I'm gonna shine regardless.
I know, but we might have to discover which one performed better.
I probably Monday Night Football. What they say, the stars shine at night, shine bright.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, right. Monday Night Football.
Tanner, how about Thanksgiving or Monday Night Football?
I would take Thanksgiving because normally we're not playing at night. We're playing probably in the midday or early game, so I get a chance to get right to it. I hated the night games. I don't care if it was Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. Anytime at night, I hated them. But like I say, like he say, when you got to go out there and do what you do what you do. But if you had to ask me to pick, definitely be a Thanksgiving game. And then also, I'm a holiday guy. So to me, Thanksgiving, Christmas, those are the holidays where you give them the most. Yeah. And so I had to give them. I had to give them the business. You know what I'm saying?
Blue, which game for you?
For me, it was Monday night because, one, your peers are watching and the stars come out at night. And, I was a bright star. The Blue Osiris over here, So for me, but with the Thanksgiving games, man, I always felt like I couldn't get comfortable because you always had people in town.
Turkey on your mind. You had turkey on your mind.
But you had people in town. You had a lot of people making sure. Short week. So I had a routine during the week where I needed to get my routine down, my recovery, and everything else. Yeah. I ain't start practicing until Thursday, so I could.
Your body wasn't ready. It was too early in the week for you.
It was too early in the week.
I was wondering he's gonna be honest. This be honest about to say, I'm just getting into practice for him by Thursday night.
Like, man, this game too early.
Let's be honest though.
And also on this and that. NFC East gets what they call East Coast bias, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, for years, everybody said the NFC East gets favored. Is that deserving? Talk about that.
Bigger media markets, first and foremost.
Well, you got LA now on the West Coast.
Yeah,
you
but
got
they got so much going on out of LA. There's so many other things to do. They're not ingrained fully in their football team. Like you got the Lakers, you got the beaches, you got the weather, you're outside a lot. You got New York, Philly, DC, and Dallas. Like Dallas dominates, like they're gonna always be on big games. The NFC East teams are gonna be in more primetime games, we get just more coverage. And then at one point,
the winning teams are now, like Kansas City and Baltimore, obviously.
Yeah, but historically, you got to think the Giants, Cowboys, and Washington were winning a whole lot of Super Bowls in the 80s and 90s.
I'm talking about now. So there's the East Coast bias. Is that deserving of now?
Yes.
I mean, it comes with it. It comes with the territory. I think London hit it on the head. I think far as the markets, especially here in DC, when I came over from New York, I didn't know this market was heavily, football like this. Oh, yeah. But I also understand too when you have a team that has the rich history that this Redskins organization had back in the mid '80s, early '90s. It's rightfully so, for you to have the kind of coverage that you have. So I was kind of like, there was a rude awakening for me to know that, it's just as big as it is over there in New York. Well.
And it's nation's capital.
Yeah, and the capital. Bingo. Okay. So, what time it is, fellas. It's drive time.
Drive time.
Drive.
It's time for Drive Time, presented by Eastern Automotive Group. Any car, any way, for everyone, since 1988. My favorite segment, my favorite time to talk about, we're going to talk about something that you just chimed in on about the Thanksgiving games and stuff like that. Being that it's a Thanksgiving Day, and this is probably going to be airing on Thanksgiving Day today. So, happy Turkey Day for all you guys who watching. Some of the games, we're going to talk about some of those matchups against, the Cowboys. What do you remember the most about that 2012 matchup against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving?
That was my first and only time that I ever played on Thanksgiving. So that's the first. Yeah. First and only only time that I played against Thanksgiving. I always wanted to play, so I was excited about that game. I remember being I forgot what our record was going to the game. It was a huge game for us where we were in our season. I was also dealing with an ankle injury that I was having to get, an ejection to be able to play. Right. So just worried about was I going to be fully ready to play on that short week, traveling and all that type of stuff. And I can remember just being at that stadium, the energy, and the atmosphere. It just hits different when you're playing Thanksgiving, playing a game in Dallas on Thanksgiving, and making plays. We come out, offense, y'all were rolling.
We exploded in the first half.
RG3 he had a hell of a game. Mm-hmm. We were rolling defensively. D Hall had a pick, I had a pick. We made some adjustments at halftime on the pick that I had. It was a coverage we had never played. We switched up my responsibility and D Hall's responsibility. What
you mean, D Hall was playing nickel?
He was playing a nickel.
He was playing in the nickel, and you and him just like
normally, just based on this coverage, how we were playing it, he was playing a nickel. They were running like a little sucker route where it wouldn't come up. He sit down, and they run that dig by the number 2 behind him, and we were playing kind of a cover 4.
Yep.
Where I would stay with Witten, and then we leave the safety for the dig. Well, this time, when he sat Witten down, D Hall jumped that cover 2, he jumped that route. And then I fell off underneath the dig route.
Nice. What you do with Big Fletch? What you do with it?
I caught it. I probably got about 10, 15.
Big Fletch, he just told you had a bad wiggle.
I had a bad ankle. I couldn't wiggle like I normally do.
You wasn't going to crowd surf on.
But just remember that, man. Heck of a game. Remember your touchdown you had in that game. Just a great game, great environment.
That was my first time too on Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't. I tell you, the only childhood memory. I mean, the only memories I have of playing on Thanksgiving was back when I was a kid. But we talked about that in another episode, just how special that was. I kind of saw that whole touchdown situation out. Told my ticket guy to put my family in this section, and I was going to score a touchdown. I did all that. What I want to ask you is, being that your dad was a Cowboy, do you remember any games of you watching or going to watch your dad?
Man, it seemed like every year they played on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they did.
Because I remember they played, I think it was the Rams one year, then they played the Detroit Lions. So for me, it was just I thought it was normal. I didn't even realize, that the Cowboys was really part of the Thanksgiving game tradition.
Right.
So for me, it was just I remember my dad would be gone the night before, but I just remember us getting ready to go to the game. That was a highlight of my life. Oh man, I got my little cowboy shirt on. When I was real,
we gotta get pictures there. Young Bluefoot.
You can't have young Blue. I looked like buckwheat, man. My hair was big, man. I had a little gun holster.
Somebody got that picture somewhere. Your mom probably has that picture. They gotta find.
I don't know if you got any pictures of me like that, old Bluefoot like that, looking like buckwheat. But but it was special, man, because when you're a kid, it's about the family, and I was happy to see all the family in town. So that was good. When I was a player, I was just man, can't wait to get to the hotel because I need to be locked in.
Mm-hmm. So last year was our first year calling the game or covering the game in Dallas on Thanksgiving. How was that for you, man? How special was that?
Shoot, man, I would have rather been playing. Check a little bit different. Nah, you know what? It was special. Even I tell people, for a former player, obviously, we love to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Next best thing is coaching. Mm-hmm. And then I think the third best thing would be calling the game, but not just calling the game for a team, your team that you actually cheer for and are passionate about winning. So, I mean, I love my job. I assume you feel the same way about it because, we're emotional at these games. We feel it. We feel a part of it, man.
We wear it.
The emotions of a win, a loss, and all that type of stuff. So, I love being in that environment.
Yeah, it was big time for me too. I think it was crazy because BC, we talked so much about how him, and B Mitch, we do the pre and post game show, and then after that we kind of go off into either the press box or find someone there that has a suite, and we go and watch the game with them. But that particular day, we was everywhere for some odd reason, man. We started off downstairs in that little bar area that's right behind us.
Y'all was enjoying your holiday. He was kicking it.
We was kicking it, man, but it was just a good experience because not only that we was down there enjoying ourselves, enjoying the game itself, BC was so amused with the fans that recognized myself that was Cowboy fans and then what they had to say. And it was just one of those things. And then, they always talk about B. Mitch being as special as he is, why he's not in the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. But we later went upstairs and got a piece of that spread that they had. And that put the icing on the cake right there. I mean, trust me, man, it was one of those games, but it didn't turn out the way we wanted to. That year was one of those kind of years, but it was just the experience as a whole. You just spoke on it. And I get asked this all the time. Folks still want me to coach, and I'm like, bro, my time is everything, and don't get me wrong, I love the game. So I would love to be around it at a bigger capacity. But if I had to choose one right now, I love what I'm doing. Because not only am I, because I went to school as an educator, that's where I got my first degree under. I actually, went to school to be a secondary school teacher. And
hey man, can you teach Smooth some things, man? Educate that boy, man.
What subject were you gonna teach?
History.
Okay.
But it was like between history or language arts. You know what I mean? I like both of those.
I see you with your glasses on being a professor, man.
Probably not.
Can you imagine
Professor Moss?
The students are gonna be talking about that.
So
Mr. Moss guys, look at Mr. Moss shoes. He got some flat kicks.
What I always tell folks,
hey, Mr. Moss, I need that grade,
I did all that for college, but I knew I wasn't gonna never teach. I did it saying that maybe one day I'll coach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So getting back to what I was saying, the point I'm trying to make, like I see myself coaching, but I enjoy the time. So to me, talking and being able to share this insight.
You might coach high school one day.
Yeah.
College, man. Go down to Miami and coach.
You still got his. Well, Florida, they don't pay high school coaches enough. That's the baby.
Well, you got to go to Texas if you want to get paid.
Trust me, you know, I'm not giving that kind of free time out. You know what I mean? Like my time is money. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I'm just saying, I'm being real. I feel like the seat that we in now.
Yeah.
We in some capacity we're coaching. We're coaching the audience. We're coaching the fans. We're coaching the listeners, the viewers. So I enjoy this part of it because just like you telling somebody to go run a route or this person to fill that gap. I'm getting to tell a fan who don't know what he's talking about half the time, who's he's a couch coach, what's really going on,
educating
from my
them,
perspective.
informing them, giving them that perspective.
Yeah.
I love your perspective, man. It's good, man. I didn't know you talked this much. And I was your teammate.
Moss.
Mr. Moss, I was your teammate for 5 years. He ain't say 3 words to me, and I checked him every day. I was like, hey,
you one in that group of people that I like.
I was with you all the time.
He ain't feel your vibe. Tanner always talk about his energy guy.
I'm an energy guy.
He didn't like your energy.
I ain't like your energy.
That's how y'all feel.
Because he talked to me.
Hey, it's how your energy came up.
I ain't like y'all Miami. You might have held a grudge from us beating y'all in the national championship or something.
All right, fellas. So what I didn't know, which one of y'all played against Tennessee or the New Orleans?
Yeah, I did play
Houston Oilers. That's what it was.
I played it. You didn't play against the Houston Oilers?
No, that's your old self.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's showing my age a little bit. I did play against
What are some of your memories?
Well, the thing I remember most, they came to...
Did Earl Campbell run you over?
Nah, come on, man. Relax, man. I ain't that old. They had Eddie George, who was my college teammate, was a tailback, and Steve McNair. Eddie was in his second year, and Steve McNair might have been in his third year. And the thing I remember was just, first of all, that Steve was like a running back. He was like, it was like a beast trying to tackle, and he could throw it a mile. You see him in pregame throwing it, 70 yards like it was nothing. And I remember because it was in the Kingdom. That was my very first interception my rookie year.
Oh, okay.
Get Steve McNair. Rest in peace to the great man legend, Steve McNair.
Steve was one of those dudes. So what about you, going up against the Titans?
Man, I winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate.
They say remember the Titans. Yeah, I remember the Titans.
Not
got
the
that
movie.
bling. One of these days I'm gonna bring my bling. I don't.
Yeah, I was
bring
say
it
you don't wear your ring, man.
I mean, when you did it,
We don't want that. We don't want it in here. This is Commanders. This is Players Club. We don't need that around here.
So, because I wanted with a different team, I can't wear my.
No.
Just going against Steve McNair, Eddie George. They were there. Just a tough physical football team. Yeah. Gritty game. I knew they were going to try to run it 30 times. I looked at it as 30 opportunities to make a tackle because it was just that type of game. But coming down to the 1 yard line, winning that game against the Titans, but they were always just a tough physical football team. I'm glad we're playing them in our place as opposed to in Tennessee. I always felt like Tennessee was a tough place to play in.
Can I go back to that though? Because I always wanted it. Because you see it on ESPN. That's one of the greatest games. What was that drive like? What was like this Walker's? Because I ain't never experienced nothing that crazy. What was that drive like?
Because we had been through the test, we had already been, preparing for those type of moments. So we weren't. I never at no point did we feel like they were going to score and beat us in that game. It's crazy because in the stands as fans, they was probably anxious.
Right.
But when you're on the field as a player, and I'm sure y'all experienced as well. Because you were so prepared for the moments, you never felt like.
But they were getting in the red zone and everything.
Still, you never felt like they were
that last moment when they
even that last moment
because we had prepared so much. We prepared for that moment 2 years prior or the year prior. So we've gone through the adversity, gone through moments where we lost games, gone through moments where we've won games, and we've trained for that situation so many times. The call that we had, the defensive call, was one of our primary defensive calls that we've played, couple hundred times that season. Wow! So it was like, all right, this situation,
right?
We understand this route, this formation, this moment. And that's how we were able to execute under pressure.
Yeah,
you were 6 inches from losing the Super Bowl, buddy.
Were we really?
Yeah. Hey, they don't say that in the column. In the lost column.
I didn't. If you'd have took my heart rate is like me sitting on this couch right now.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, I don't have too many fond memories of Tennessee. I think I remember one time playing in Nashville. I thought this was probably the only time I ever played in Nashville. And I believe McNabb was the quarterback. I had a touchdown in that particular game, but it was a different vibe. I'm like,
that
man,
was here,
2010.
Right? That was 2010. Nah, was it
McNabb
9?
was gone by then.
No, he can't. He
was in Baltimore.
So what year he came in?
You said McNabb was our quarterback. Oh, I thought you said McNabb. Yeah, McNabb was our quarterback.
Yeah, McNabb was my quarterback. He came in 2010. You had me thinking like, boy, what am I talking about? McNabb came over with Mac Shanahan in 2010, and we played them boys up there in Nashville, and that was my first time. And I remember just the vibe of the stadium. It seemed like I was at a country concert. Like everybody had a cowboy hat on, had boots. We had the women walking around in their jeans. You had the music, country music playing in the stadium. It was a great atmosphere though. The sun was piping on the field, and I was sitting there like, man, and you was playing. You played in that game. And I was just really like sitting to myself like, man, what is it about this stadium that this vibe is like this? Though?
When they were at their heyday, like in '99, so we played them in the Super Bowl after the '99 season, 2000 Super Bowl. We played them in the regular season in Tennessee. To give you an example, what that atmosphere was like, our right tackle, I think, had 6 false starts.
Wow.
That's how loud
and
of a stadium that was.
Right. Nah, so yeah, those my memories, man. And
speaking of the Titans, man, it's time to set the tone. It's time to set the tone. Brought to you by Johnson Kendall Johnson, the official insurance broker and risk management partner of the Washington Commanders, where our passion is your protection. Let's get into this preview against the current Tennessee Titans.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Start with their offense, man. Will Levis is their starting quarterback.
Yep.
Second season with the team. You know, they're not having a great season so far.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph is also, started some games for them at the quarterback position. When you think about this Titans, man, how can we take advantage of them from a defense standpoint?
And also we got to think about Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Obviously, because there's a connection with Dallas and Coach Quinn and the staff, understanding with Tony Pollard. Will Levis, when you think about the Titans, it's not really much to say.
Yeah.
Because they're an organization that's in a serious transition, trying to figure it out. Just traded away Hopkins, and it's just a tough place right now. But with that being said, they're still a pro team.
Yeah.
And they're gonna play hard, and we're gonna have to show up and we gotta beat them, and we should do what we need to do. But they ain't gonna lay down. And I think it starts really with getting after Will Levis.
Yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, and I know we're going to talk about the defense, but the offensive side of the ball, I think we got to get after Will Levis.
Yeah, one of the things I like when you're playing against certain teams like the Titans, and those teams that you face throughout the season that have their season isn't going the way yours is going.
Yeah,
you want to play them at home, at your house, because now you don't have to worry about you going into their home when they're going to play with a different kind of energy. You know what I mean? And so it'd be good that we got them where we want them at, in our backyard, to really, wherever they got going on, whatever they got planned, as soon as we punch them in the mouth that first time, then they'll realize they got to scrap that. They got to, put that to bed, because we ain't going to come out here and lay down for them. But they want those teams. Any given Sunday, you can be beat by a team like this, and that's why you don't take them for granted. You go in there, you got to make sure whatever they're doing bad, whatever they're showing on film, you make sure that you...
On the offensive side.
Bingo. Right. You make sure you show them that, hey, this is you.
Yeah.
This is true. Whatever you showed us, we gonna make sure y'all stay true to that. So excuse me. I'm just looking for our guys to go out there and fly around.
Yeah, fly around. Get after Levis. They brought Calvin Ridley over there. He's making plays for them as a receiver, but the inconsistency of the offense and the quarterback play obviously has impacted him and his numbers. To show you how crazy and inconsistent his offense has been, the Titans defensively, they got the number 2 ranked defense in total yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're 26 in points allowed. So they're 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of turnovers.
Yeah. Yep.
Special teams. A lot of interceptions for touchdowns. Like, they're not giving up a bunch of yards, but they're giving up points because of the inefficiencies of their special teams units or the offensive unit. And
that's a backbreaker. That's demoralizing.
Mm-hmm.
When the offense, and and switching over to the defense side of the ball, there's some connection here. Denon Walker, the coordinator. Steve Jackson, give a shout out. I'm not surprised that
Steve Jackson.
I'm not surprised Jack. I'm not surprised that secondary play is good. I'm not surprised that Denar, who's a Greg Williams guy. I'm not surprised they're solid on defense. Quarters team probably play a little bit of combo. They show you some different looks, but ain't gonna play hard.
You speak of Steve Jackson, long time coached
here in Washington.
Safeties coach. They got a safety there, Amani Hooker.
Yes.
Amani Hooker. 3 interceptions already.
Good young football player, man. Physical at the point of attack. He's great around the ball. They got some guys that aren't household names, but they got some players that, are pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably tough being a defensive guy on their side of the ball, just knowing that probably won't get enough rest on the sideline with the offense being sporadic as it is. But one of the things we do well here is worry about us. You know what I mean? Handle what we handle. Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to a well-coached, team, by our guys, knowing that, hey, man, this is what we got at stake, regardless of who they is or what they got going on. Let's go and handle our business.
Yeah, one of the things defensively, talk about the yards, but one thing, defensively, they're pretty good on the secondary-wise. But they struggle stopping the run.
Right.
Stopping the run, when we are at our best, we run the football 35-plus times or more. Well, even 30 or more.
Yeah.
Right.
30
Gotta get
or
back
more.
To that.
We have to get to that. We have to get to that type of balance. We can't be 25 pass attempts and 25 rushing attempts and 35 pass attempts. We can't have that. We got to be heavy pass, play action pass. Now you loosen up. You get opportunities to get your one-on-one shots. Let's take advantage of Terry and Diaby and Noah Brown being able to, make some plays down the field.
Yep.
But it's going to start with being able to run the football.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
And this time of year, that's what you want to do anyway.
Yeah.
You get into the late parts of the season in November, December. Whatever travels, we always hear that. And you guys are defensive guys. When you run the football, that travels. That takes you a long way. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing these guys doing, especially coming off the week we just had.
Hey, we got a bye week.
Yeah.
Much needed bye week.
Man, what's the latest bye week?
Last year, this time.
No, I'm talking about us as when we played.
Players. We
had a bye week real late. I think, was it 04? One of the years was, man.
When I was here when we had one late.
We had one late, like real late, like almost like week 13.
Really?
You was here.
I was still there?
You was still here. Your first year, I think we were late.
So the year that Cadam got here, 2012, we had a late bye. It wasn't like week 14, but it was like we had 6 games, probably like week 10 or 11.
I was about to say, man, because my old body, I was 30, 2010. Oh, yeah, I was old.
I remember specifically
old.
because I went to the Bahamas that year, and I remember we came back.
You went to Bahamas on a bye week?
Yeah, man, wrong with you, cuz.
Okay.
I used to stay on the Brown.
I wasn't going nowhere.
So look, that's what I'm saying. I used to stay here and do nothing. And when I got later in my years, I'm like, thinking about I had 3 years left on that deal. So I'm like, start thinking, I need to start living a little bit. I'm going to take my kids on a little vacation, get away from the cold. That's how I know we was here, because we was all up here in D.C., and it was cold around that time. I remember getting their passports, and they had on big old coats. We was trying to get them up out of there. But I had to reset. It was a great reset, because 2012 we was on the tear, and I believe when we came off that bye, we started winning those games, because we had a couple of a game skid or two. We went on the bye right after we played Carolina. We lost to Carolina before the bye. Came off the bye, beat Philly.
Okay.
And then beat some other teams like right off that bye. So
and we need this bye this time, because I when you think about it from the first half of the season, you'd be like, I can't wait to get to the bye. I can't wait, because we need a bye. We lost. We had that stretch where we were injured against Pittsburgh and Philly for sure, where we felt like we needed to bye in that short window of games. But now I'm excited, because this late in the season you get that break. And now there's that little push towards the end. I mean, it was painful trying to get there, but it's going to be extremely beneficial coming off that bye.
My thing is, when did the NFL start having them this late in the year? I don't remember teams having them week 13.
Yeah.
Week 14 of a season. That's just crazy.
Well, I think it's maybe a change when they had 17.
That's still
17 games.
Man, it's easy. I call it easy it's easy to be tough for somebody else's body.
right, no question.
Yeah, I was thinking back when you were telling us in 2010 we had, or 2012 you said, no, 2010. We had that late bye week. I was like, man, me and my family, them kids weren't going nowhere. They was going
they were in school.
I think we went to staycation down to the Four Seasons.
No.
Left the kids at home.
Good job.
I couldn't turn it off like that.
Right.
I could not, when I'm in season, I just couldn't.
Right.
I've done that for years.
Go somewhere, go on vacation.
I had kind of caught on to that late in my career because for so many years when you just kind of sticking to the, the same rigorous kind of routine, I was just like, bro, I need to do something different. Like, this is what I normally do. And normally what I would want to do is go to Miami. But when your kids is in school, you're like, well, if I'm going to leave, I might as well leave.
Right,
so I just left, flew into Miami, then flew to the Bahamas. And it was quick, man. It was a quick turnaround. But they enjoyed it. It was great for me. Yeah. Boy, you talking about happy? More than happy. That's
what's up. Give a shout out to the Atlantis and Bahamas, man.
How do when you're going against a team like the Titans, how do you keep from overlooking them? And I don't think Dan Quinn's going to allow that. But just how do you keep from doing that?
Well, I think where we are in the season, and we understand that every game is coming down towards your record, and we at the end of the season you only have so much time, and at this point we are who we are. We know what we do well. We got to continue to improve, and we can't. So I don't know. Like you said, DQ is not going to let the team overlook it. I think the team just got to know. Like now, it's November, December. It's just it's time to at this point we got to do it.
Yeah.
We can't be messing around. We're in our routine. We got to get it done. We got to keep that momentum. And I can tell you, London, just from playing with you, we late in the season, it's easy for guys because they're dealing with injury and stuff like this. But I remember our Fridays didn't get shorter. Right? You was on the game plan, and we had seen the team. We played the Giants one time a week or two earlier, right? And you were like, nah, man, even though we saw them and we felt like we were on it, let's get deeper into it. So that type of leadership, like Bobby and other guys, held us to be like, nah, we got a standard to uphold. So that's what I think.
I think one of the things, and I'm not saying that I know Dan would be saying this, but if I had to imagine some of the things that he's saying in those meeting rooms behind those closed doors, is just keep your foot on the gas.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. When you get caught, what they tell you the easiest way to get hurt on the field.
When you ease up and relax.
When you ease up, when you relax.
Not
you know what I'm saying?
Not going 100%.
So when you just late in the season, ain't no reason to fucking stop pumping your brakes now.
Yeah, you're right.
We got to keep going. And these are the games what you want to really start stacking. You know what I mean? Right. As far as to get yourself, in great position. I mean, especially your divisional games, in which we have a lot of those left. But you want to stack those other games as well. So when it comes down to getting yourself in contingents of being whatever, slot you're going to be in, you want to be able to have, a good record behind you. Right. And I think like I said before, he's not probably going in there with that mindset of thinking about no record. It's just about another team that we have to take care of.
And execute.
Bingo, and do our part.
You mentioned execution. It's one thing to win, but how do you look in those wins?
Yes.
Tyler, you want to be playing your best football.
Yeah.
Yep.
At this time of the year.
Yeah.
Like, are we sharp? Are we, doing it, executing the game plan?
Attention to detail, yep.
Be executed. Attention to detail. Are we great in situational football?
Yep.
Are we, protecting the football, not turning it over? Are we efficient in the red zone? Are we efficient in, third and criticals or gotta have it moments? Are we able to do and play our best football at this time of the year? Individually, are you getting better? And as a team, are you getting better? Because the teams that really make a run in the playoffs, they're like this at this time of the year.
Yeah.
They're not here. You'll have some teams that kind of limp into the playoffs, but you want to be going on that upward trajectory.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's maybe this time of the year it's not necessarily the starters, but it's those guys.
It's the cash, yeah.
The supporting cast that come in that start to shine a little bit. A rookie that's getting better, right?
Yeah.
Now he becomes not just on the team, but he, we see it with Mike Sinistro. Like he's emerging as a leader, right? You start to see that. You see the supporting cast is getting better and better.
Yeah. All right, fellas. That's a wrap, man, on this preview of the Titans. Welcome back to the Players Club, fellas. It's time to go into the film room, man. We get an opportunity to take a look at some of the best plays by Daron this season. Let's get this party started off right. This is against the Arizona Cardinals on the road, man. Just Payne, relentless pass rush. Him and Bobby Wagner splitting the sack right there.
Hey, just a motor, man. He just keeps going. He doesn't stop, and that's relentless, man. Because oftentimes the first move might not work, but if you keep pressing, you can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, he's one of those guys too. If you think about it, man, his numbers might be down in sacks, but the other guys around him are getting him because he's making sure that he collapses in the middle of that pocket. So he's pushing all them stuff outside, and that's why you're able to see a guy like Bobby Wagner go out there and share a sack with him.
Yeah, definitely. His you mentioned the numbers. His impact has been far greater than the numbers would dictate. Yeah. And this time, I like the fact just the bull rush and then the quick arm over move. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the second play. This is against the Carolina Panthers. Stopping to earn a right to rush the pass, you got to stop the run. And
that's right. And that's right. And you love seeing the big man. They try to that counter. Yeah. He was able to just to bust through, come through the backside, and just dominate.
I saw this all year from him, man. Right. Up to this point, that's what you see him doing, man. Especially on them critical downs when he need to make a stop, man. He's in the backfield.
You got to earn the right to rush the passer. One way you stop the running of a team, rushing attack, get penetration in the backfield. Mm-hmm. That's a great example of that. Getting that TFL by Payne on that play. All right, let's move forward. Let's look at him against the Chicago Bears.
Oh, yeah, he lived back there.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is oftentimes guys are selfish and they'll try to go in and sack the quarterback. Caleb was scrambling quarterback. He was able to, you know what? I see he's taking off running. Let me just hold my ground and go get him.
Yeah. You talking about rush lane integrity.
Yeah, rush lane integrity. Yeah. Sometimes you'd be like, let me try to rush. He took the guy on square.
Well, how many times? We oftentimes see when a rush is not balanced, guys get out, you end up with three guys on one side of the center. Right. The quarterback taking off.
You seen a lot of that last year. A lot of that, to me, I think last year was one of the worst times when we saw a lot of those guys.
They didn't play as a unit.
Yeah, and now they playing as a unit, so you see they able to let me just handle my job, and tackles like this are going to come to me,
This is against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh, Cordell Patterson.
Mm-hmm. And that's just grown man strength right there. That's just man handling the guard. Like, listen, listen, you're going to try to go outside zone, but that ain't going to work on me today, babe. I'm just a grown man. And he didn't even put two hands on him.
No.
He controlled him with one hand. That's right.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. Like, man, I'm watching him to see where he cuts, man.
That's sunning him if I ever seen it. He's sun, buddy.
Yeah.
Great technique, as you mentioned, outside run. We call that getting greedy. Getting rid of your blocker, defeating the block, and making a tackle. As a linebacker, man, I ain't like that type of play because I want to make the tackle.
Right.
You tell him to do your job. Just go ahead and call it up.
This is an outstanding play by Daron on that play. And this is against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's against Saquon Barkley, man. Mm-hmm. Tackle for a loss.
And that's not easy to get through on initial penetration and still be able to get low enough to tackle a guy, because them running backs can make you miss sometimes you bust through. That was a great play.
I tell you, Saquon spoke highly about this defense, man, talking about how, they was a couple of runs here and there away, but our defense was on them the whole time until it got out of hand in the fourth quarter. So, I'm looking forward to those guys bouncing back.
One thing I've noticed about especially these run plays, great technique by Daron, great use of his hands, hand placement, being inside, being able to get rid of the blocker, shit. Because if you have poor technique, you got your hands too wide, it's hard to defeat blocks, get off blocks, and make tackles. So by him being on top of his technique, he's able to make a tackle for a loss, man. That's it, man. The big-time plays by Daron.
I love that.
Coming right up after the break, we got Daron Payne joining us.
He's asking for the ball and gets it. Washington brings 5. Luger off the edge. He's got him! Back at the 35. You're like, no! Williams escaped the first attempt at a sack, and he's gathered again! Daron Payne pulls him down!
This is your Ice Cold Player, brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Commanders.
Welcome back to the Players Club. As promised, we got Daron Payne joining us.
Yeah.
Daron, we appreciate you joining us, man.
buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, you've been on the show a couple times, but this is the first time we've had an opportunity to have you back since you became a dad.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? How has life changed for you?
Man, it's cool, man. Just seeing my little girl, like, from a newborn baby to now she's 6 months. Like she getting a little personality, and we be doing like the little swim classes and stuff like that. It's just cool watching her grow up. And she loved Miss Rachel and all that good stuff. She loved that TV. So
Put to give it a little iPad, let her just watch it.
Man, she funny, bro. It's fun though.
She got you wrapped around her fingers, man.
Oh, for sure, man. She get what she want when she want. She's spoiled.
But here, big dude, I wouldn't want to be the dude show up, take her to prom. Like, stay in shape for them daughters, man.
Like, tell me, how has that changed you, like, far as a player? You know what I mean? I had my son going into my senior year in college, and I remember how focused I got and buckled down a little bit more.
Yeah.
You already a pro. You already got paid. But I know it's still other goals you want.
Yeah.
Has that changed you being a father now?
I feel like it just changed my routine up a little bit. Like I had to be able to, like you say, fit in like when we leave practice, I got to get my recovery stuff in. I got to get my film study in, and I still want to be there for my baby girl and take her places. So it's just you just gotta chop that time up and figure out how you want to do it.
I remember. Hold on. I'm finna tell him. I remember leaving school or leaving work and saying, damn, I want to hurry up and get home before he go to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you kind of be looking at your clock saying, I want to hurry up and get
be up
there?
all night.
like I need some sleep.
Man, I wish he would go to sleep.
Yeah, you up there icing and stretching, trying to get it and feeding her at the same time. That's what's up, man. 7 years, bro. Time flies, and you one of the guys. Obviously, you got the big contract, was awarded a big contract after your performance. Change. Coach Quinn has come in, man, and you were here through some regime and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. What's been different, man?
I feel like Coach Quinn, when he came in, he was all about brotherhood and just like camaraderie and getting to know each other. Like I remember when we first got to OTAs, like they was just doing whatever we doing, pop quizzes on each other, like what school you went to, what high school you went to, just getting to know each other, and like that's been way different from what we need to do stuff like that in college.
Right.
But I feel like it was just a big emphasis of getting to know everybody quickly because we ain't had that much time and just getting on the same page with everybody.
You mentioned being around new coach for you, man. 7th year in the league. You're like a vet in that D-line room, especially at the defensive tackle position. Now that J.A. is injured.
Yeah.
Looking at that now, do you like, man, dang, I can't believe how fast
when I first got into the league, I feel like I was like the only young guy it was me and J.A., but we had like a fairly young room, and we got a bunch of old guys now, like Tay, Dorrance. Our only pup is Johnny Newton, and
John Baptiste.
Yeah, Baptiste. It's just crazy though, just being able to like put yourself in new roles.
Yeah.
I know when I first got in the league, I used to always just watch guys like Arcade, Preston Smith, and all them boys, and just see their routine and like just try to ask them what I could do to get to where I want to go. But now it's like guys like Johnny and Baptiste and all them boys, they coming to me asking for information. So it's just tables turning.
So you're a leader now. So that you feel that responsibility of leadership and stuff.
How is it from the outside looking in? I'm sure we always have little moments where we talking about the team and just, man, it's something. It's a joy to watch you guys in unison now. Like it seemed like a bunch of guys playing on the same accord, playing off each other, together with each other. Is that something, as what we seeing is what's going on right now with you guys?
No, for sure. I feel like everybody just happy for each other. Everybody happy for each other to make plays. It's not like one guy just want to make all the plays. Shoot, plays out there for everybody. Everybody out there trying to make plays. I feel like that's the difference. Like nobody is being selfish. Like we just
trying to come together for that one common goal.
Mm-hmm. And you brought in some, obviously, outstanding free agents. Luvu's one of the first to come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But one that we all come to mind for us is Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
You're talking about OG on the team. Obviously, you know, he's been with Coach Quinn, got a lot of experience in the league. Call him Bobby Gold Jacket here. What does he mean to, like, have that in the middle? Because he's right behind you.
Man, I feel like having Bobby and Luvo just brought so much juice to our team. Like, them boys be flying around. But they do it with confidence, though. Like, they communicate confidently. They make sure everybody know what's going on. I feel like I know we be giving up, like, little plays here and there towards the end, but I feel like it's just, like, we just got to be more, like, we got to focus. Like, towards the end of the game, that's when the focus, you got to be more focused on, like, the little things.
But for the most part, having that experience and having him right behind you, you can tell the difference.
For sure.
You can tell. Okay.
Nah, they the best linebackers.
Hold on, man. Hold on real quick, though. That hard as it, man. You played at Alabama, man. Y'all was loaded as a defense, man. That
he
whole
talking about here, though.
I know, but okay, all right. You played with some good linebackers, man.
Hey, your off season, we know you love to fish. Also into cars, you had the opportunity to sit down with to show off your new Rolls Royce with to Brian Cobra Jr. on the front seat.
What's good, Commanders family? Brian Cobra Jr. here with our defensive tackle, Daron Payne.
They checked that out on YouTube channel. What was it like, man, showing him your car? And is that your favorite car?
Man, I probably got like 8 or 9 cars. It's always been like a thing of mine. Like my pops growing up, he was always into cars, and he had so many cars, and he had to go down the road for a little bit, but he ended up gifting me his cars, and I just was taking care of him, and then the love just came for that. Bro, I was just going to car shows, trying to do whatever I can to get my cars looking the way I wanted them, and then I got a little money, and it was just over with. I started getting every car I wanted.
What's your baby though? You get like London said. What's your favorite, man? You gotta have a favorite, or
I got
like your kid.
My '96 Impala. I've been working on since middle school. Finally got it where I wanted. I just got a Grand National, a 1987 Grand National, and shoot, right now I like my Maybach truck.
This weekend is the My Cause, My Cleats game. What organization did you choose to represent?
I'm doing Alabama Kidney Foundation.
Okay.
I did them a couple years back, but I just found them through the team. But it's just something that means a lot to me because my mom, she suffers from kidney failure and leukemia. Well, not leukemia, but something else. But so I just try to help them boys out and just bring awareness to the cause.
That's
what's up.
Yeah, we didn't never get a chance to. I would think probably my last year they started doing that. That was like 2013, 2014. And, so I never got a chance to experience that. So it's always great seeing you guys with your cleats and knowing that the league get behind that and you guys go out there and put on for a great cause.
The equipment manager ask you what you want to do, or just somebody?
Just somebody from the team, you know. They got
and then they go find somebody to.
And then they find somebody to paint them, man.
Okay. You'll see them on Friday maybe or
okay.
Man, you gotta break them things.
See, I was superstitious, man. I wanted my same cleats. I ain't want nothing to be on mine. I want the black, ugly. I'm a spat mine. So, you know, these guys now, man, they got the pretty cleats.
As much swag as you got.
Hey, man, he ain't had no swag. He was just work.
See this right here?
He just had work.
Right here? He know it. It's always gonna be the one that hates you, man. They show their true colors. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, bro. I understand.
Daron, man, we appreciate you joining us on the Players Club again. We have all our guests. You've been on here before. You know we like to have y'all sign this football, man. But if you wouldn't mind, your boy Jonathan, he took up all the space initially. He thought it was just gonna be his football. But man, that'll do it for the Players Club. We'll see y'all next week, same time.